Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Subject computer application for 12th standard C section. Last class we completed the chapter 4. Now we are going to start new chapter number 5, function and array. So in this chapter we are going to understand what is function in PHP, different types of function, steps for creating UDF, that means user defined function, parameterized function, and arrays in PHP. So let's start our first class of chapter number 5, function and array. So of course PHP is a server-side scripting language. Functions are and arrays are a concept are very important to solve many complex problem in real world. So what is function? In most of the programming language, a block of segment in a program that performs specific operation task like insert, execute, delete, calculate. This segment is called a function. So this function may be called as subroutines, procedures, or subprograms. These functions have their own inputs, have their own outputs depending upon the requirement of the programmer. Functions can be defined by programmer itself. Some function will give some outputs. That values is known as function returns. Any data type values or null values. So that types of output is known as return value of the function. When function accept any input, then that function inputs are called arguments. Functions cannot work without calling the function. So in any program, if user created a function, and if you want to use that function or that segment of program or subprograms or subroutines. So function can be called as small segment, subprogram, subroutines, procedure. Then programmer should call that function wherever he required. So in a single program, a single function can be called many times, and each and every time function execute with their respective inputs and outputs of that current situation and produce the result and return the result to that particular point. For example, see here in screen you can see 6 dots. If the function is called at the fourth dot place, then from that fourth dot place user should give required inputs and function will return the final output based upon the requirement at that point to that position where the function is called. If the same function is called at the last, that is 6 point, then here user should give the respective inputs and he will get the respective output at that position. So each and every time whenever user calls any function, then that function, if it have inputs, then user should give inputs. If the function will return output, then it will definitely return the output to that particular point of that program. If a function is created in the program and user didn't call that function at any point of the program, then the function will not going to execute. So there are different types of function in PHP. They are UDF, that is user defined function. Another one is predefined or system or built-in function. So predefined, system, built-in, all these names are same for a single category. So these types of function may be called as predefined, may be called as system, may be called as built-in. So these functions are created by the PHP software engineers and they are stored in the PHP software programming. So simply we can use that function for our programming requirement. So another type is parameterized function. Here parameterize means a function which requires input. So inputs in function are called parameters. Values sent to that parameter is called arguments. So we will see one by one what is function, how we understand what is function. Now we are going to understand how to create UDF, that is user defined function. So one is already the function created by the programmers of PHP. The another one is UDF, where we are going to create, the programmer is going to create the function. So when we programmer want to create the function, then two important steps are followed for creating the UDF. Step number one, function declaration. Step number two, function calling. So in step number one, function declaration, user, that is programmer, should define the name of that function and inputs, that means parameters of the function, and output, that means return of the function. See the syntax of creating a simple function. So here we should use the function keyword. After giving the space, we should mention the function name. This name is created by the programmer. Depending on its requirement, he may give any name to that function. So all the rules for creating the variable are applicable here for creating the function name. So remember the rules of creating a variable, which we already discussed in the chapter number 4. Here we create the function in the step number 1, where we try to give the function name as well as the inputs if we require, and we want to get the output or return value from that, then we should mention all the codes within this curly braces. So within this open and curly braces, we should mention the codings of the function. So this coding will execute only when we call that function. That is the step number 2. So after creating the function using the step number 1, that is declaration. So if the function want to be executed, then it should be called. So how we can call? By using the name. So when we creating a function, we should give the name for that function. By using that name, we can call that function. Here in syntax you can see function name. Simply give the function name, then function will be executed or called at that point of the program. So here we are going to understand how to declare a function, how to call function using the demo10 PHP file. This file is already created and stored in the system. Now we are going to open the WAM server and open the demo10 PHP file and try to understand what is the program. After that, we try to open the server side to understand the output. So first we try to open the source code in Notepad. So open Notepad, where we created the demo10.php file. So type the file name demo10.php. Here you can see, as usual, we created the tag php open tag and close tag. This is the open tag and php close tag, where we should give the php coding. This coding is not going to display in the browser because php is the server side programming language. So here we use to create a function called function insert message. So the name of the function is insert msg. It means that whenever we use to call this function, then we should use the name as it is when we create the name. So here you can see m is capital letter. Then when we call this function, we should give this m as capital letter. Then only this function will execute. Otherwise php will show errors. So here you can see we created a function. The keyword is used for creating the function name, that is step number 2, and then we give the name. After that, we open and close the parentheses. Here we should mention the parameters, that is inputs for the function. So this is the function which does not have input. So after that, we open the brace and close the brace as per rules. Here you can see open brace, close brace, and within this open brace and close brace, we should give the codings which should be executed by this function at the time of calling. So here, what is the coding? Echo student details inserted successfully. So this is the message, this is the code is given in this function. So whenever we call this function, this message will display on the screen. So here you can see insert msg function is called here. This is step number 2. After creating the function, we should call the function. If you want, you can call. If you don't want, then you can skip. So Here we can see how to create a function, that is step number 2, declaring a function, and how to call a function, that is step number 2. Now we are going to open the WAMP server and try to execute this program and try to view the output of the program. So here the file name is demo10.php. Here you can see student details inserted successfully is printed on the screen because we call that function. So now I am going to remove this coding and save the program, and I am going to run this program. Here you can see there was no output and there was no error. It means this coding is correct, but this function is not called at any point of this program. That's why there is no output of this function. So now I am going to call this function 2 times. Here you can see insert msg. So here I call this function 2 times. So here when we try to run, you can see two messages are printed on the screen. So here you can see student details and student details. From this we know once we created the function, we call that coding many times. So create once, use many times. This is the concept of function. This will reduce the length of the program and efforts of the program. If any errors is created in that function, that simply correcting at a particular point will affect all the related areas of that program whenever we call that function or wherever we call that function. So here I already told you, if you make any mistake in calling the function name, that is, if you when you create the function, the name, when in the name m is capital letter, when we give the name in wrong pattern or long syntax, then we show here some errors. So this is called the uh, creating function and deleting function. Now we are going to see how to create the different parameterized function and how we can use that function in the program. Now in this lesson we are going to see the next topic called parameterized function. Parameterized means the inputs of the function. The values for that inputs are called arguments. So the simple thing, the parameter is also called as argument. It is like variables. The arguments are mentioned after the function name and inside the parenthesis. There is no limit for sending argument. Just separate them with comma notation. So parameter should be given inside the parenthesis of the function name after the function name, and each and every parameter should be separated by comma. So now we are going to open the program demo 11, where we are going to create a parameterized function and try to understand the parameterized function. So here you can see the parameterized function. So within the PHP code, here you can see many functions are created. So here the function keys are used many times. It means many functions are created. So in the function name is school underscore name 1, where we accept one input, that is yes name. Yes name means school name. So after accepting this yes name, what we do, we try to do some operation to that parameter. So in the coding you can see dollar yes name dot double quotation in Tamil Nadu. It means the school name is displayed with the sentence in Tamil Nadu on the screen by using the echo command. So after that we create another function, namely school underscore name 2, where we accept two inputs. One is yes name, that is school name, another one is strength. So in the first function we accept only school name. In the second function, the function name school name 2, we accept two parameters. One is yes name, another one is strength. So we use these two parameters in the coding. Here yes name in Tamil Nadu and student strength is. So we will print the school name as well as strength. So here we created another function, namely sum. Here we accept two inputs. One is x, another one is y. So in the coding you can see we create another variable called z, where we add the two parameters x plus y and store the value in the z, and we use a keyword called return. So this keyword is not used in this function. In these two function, we didn't use this return keyword. So return keyword is used when we try to send any output to the called function area. So here this function is the only function will return the output to the called function area. This function and these two function will execute the commands inside the coding, inside the say curly braces. So school name 1 consists of one parameter. School name underscore name consists of two parameters. One is sname strength. Some function will consist of two input where we add the values and store the values in the z and return the z value to the called area. So this is the step number 1 where we create three function with different parameters. Now we are going to see the step number 2, that is calling the function. Here calling the function with one parameter is displayed on the screen. Here we call the first function school underscore name where we give the input Mazarloom Higher Secondary School. So first the school underscore name function. So this is the school underscore name function which accept one input. So school name is Mazarloom Higher Secondary School. So this value is sent to this variable, and in that variable the values is stored. The value is Mazarloom Higher Secondary School, and the value is printed on the screen with the text with this string in Tamil Nadu. After we call the second function school underscore name where we give two inputs. One is the school name, another one is strength. Here school name is Mazaram Higher Secondary School, strength is 1850. So this function, that is school underscore name 2 function, will accept two inputs and display the content. It displays the school name first, after in Tamil Nadu and student strength this thing is displayed, after that strength will display on the screen. So third time we call the sum function. Here we call the sum function. This will accept two input. One is 5, another one is 10. 5 is stored in the variable x, 10 is stored in the variable y. So 5 and 10 are the arguments, x and y are the parameters. So parameter is the keyword used to refer the uh, input variables of the function, and arguments is the term which is used to refer the values of the parameters. So here x and y is the parameter, 5 and 10 is the argument, because 5 is the value, 10 is the value which was stored in the parameters x and y respectively. So when we call the sum function, these two values are stored in the xy. After executing this command, the z values return in the in the in this particular position. So that's why we use the return keyword. The return keyword is used only in this function. So if you want, you can use any return keyword in any function for getting output at that particular point. So now I am going to open this program demo 11 where we try to understand all the three function with the different parameters. Here you can see the first function with one parameter. The one parameter value is Mazarloom Higher Secondary School in Tamil Nadu is displayed on the screen. So here we call the first function school underscore name. So here you can see the first function school underscore name is displayed on the screen. After that we print two lines, echo calling function with two parameters, echo dash dash. After we call school underscore name 2. So here we can see two inputs are passed, that is Mazallum Higher Secondary School and strength is 1850. So here you can see the output Mazallum Higher Secondary School in Tamil Nadu, student strength is 1850. So after that we print two echo commands. One is calling function with two parameters and return value dash dash. So 5 plus 10 is printed on the screen. Here we call the sum function. So 5 and 10 are sent to this function as input, that is arguments, and they are processed here, and the output is 15 is stored in the variable z, and the z value is returned to the position. So that's why we get the output 15 here. So this is the different methods of creating function with different parameters and getting the output using the return keyword. So I hope you understand this concept. So next we are going to see the next topic of this lesson, array in PHP. So array is the concept that store more than one values of same data type. So array is the concept where we try to store more values of same data type, that is homogeneous data type variables, in a single variable, that many values accept the different values, but they are same in data type as well as the name. So but they are different in index value. So there are three types of arrays. One is indexed array, array associative array, and multi-dimensional array concept in PHP. We will see one by one. The first we try to understand how to create array. So here you can see the syntax, array syntax for creating the variable using array keyword. So here you can see dollar array underscore variable name. It means in PHP dollar symbol refers to variable name. You want to give the variable name for that array variable. After using the assignment operator, type the array keyword. It is a keyword. It is the rule for creating the array variable. After giving the array keyword, within the parentheses, give the values for this array variable. So you can give the values using the double quotation, and each and value should be separated by comma. So this is the simple method for creating the array, first method for creating the array. So here you can see all these values share the same name, but they are different in their index number. That index number starts from 0 of the first value. So each and every value is numbered with the index. That index number starts from 0 from the first value. So first value index value is 0, second index value is 1, third index value is 2. So depending upon the number of element, this index number may vary, but this index number always begins with 0. So this is the first method for creating the array. The second method is associative array. In associative array, we use array keyword as well as the another key is used. For each and every value, we specify a key, that is a name, specific name for that, for each and every value in the array. So key is the name to refer the value of the array element. Value is the value given to that array. So now we are going to understand the different types of array in PHP. First array is indexed array. Arrays with numeric index for the available values in array variable which contains key value pair, as user or developer can take the values using the keys. So in indexed value, we use the index number for referring each and every array values. So consider we created a variable, array variable with 5 elements. So in 5 element, example 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. These are the 5 elements stored in the variable, array variable, namely A. Now if you want to call a specific value from this group of values, for example if you want to call the 30 value, so then you should use the index number of that variable array. So A of 2 is the correct index value for the 30, because so each and every value in the array indexed is indexed with the number and they are begin from 0. So the first value of array is consist of 0 as index and 1, 2 and 3, 4. So here you can see all the elements have their own index value. This index value will automatically generated by the PHP program. By using this index value, we can call a specific value from this group of array variables. So A of 20 refers to 30. So A of 0 refers to first value, that is 10. A of 4 refers to fifth value of the element, 50. So this is how we call the array variables in the PHP program. This was described in this program demo 12, where we try to understand the different types of array, that is indexed array. So first we try to understand indexed array. So here you can see the variable is created with the name student underscore name. So this is the array variable name. We use the array keyword. Within the parentheses we given many we give many values for that array variable, that is we give three values. So Inian, Kavian, Nilani are the values of this array variable. So here in echo command we try to access the specific element of that array. So here if we use student underscore name of 0, it means so the first value of the array is accessed here. So because the first value index number is 0, so ini will print on the screen. In the same way, if you want to print Kavi, then you should give the index value as 1. If you want to print Nilani, then you should give the index number value as 2. So now I'm going to open this program. Here we'll discuss first the index array. After we go for the next type of array. So this is the index array. You can see the output. The student names are Inian, Kavin, Nilani. So when we try to print the program, you can see all the content of this will display on the screen. So student 01, student number 1, student 2. So if you want to print only the Kavin name, then remove all the elements. So here you can see I remove all the elements. Only I am trying to print the particular value of that array variable. So student underscore name 1, it means the one index refers to Kavin, then Kavin will display on the screen. So go to the browser, then when you refresh you can see the student names are Kavin. So here you can see the student names are Kavin. It means we only access single element. If you want to access all the element, then give the index number with the array variable name, that is $student underscore name 0 dot $student underscore name index number 2. Then you can give as it is, which was already in the program. So this is how we create the and access the indexed array. So next array is the associative array. Associative arrays where we give keys value for each and every value in the array variable. So key value paired data structure, instead of having storing data in a linear array, with associative array you can store your data in a collection and assign it unique key which you may use for referring your data. So instead of using the index number which was already created by the PHP program, we can allot the names for the values in the array variable. That values, that names are called keys. So here you can see the procedure for creating an associative array. So first thing, dollar marks, we create marks array variable with the key. So here you can see double quotation, within the double quotation we should mention the key student1. After we use the symbol is equal with the greater than symbol. This is the key associative array using method rule. So we should use this symbol for referring the key value to the key name to the value. So student1 is the key value, key name, and 35 is the value. Student2 is the key name, 17 is the value. Student3 is the key name, 43 is the value. So for each and every value there should be a symbol for reference. This is the rule for creating associative. After that, if you want to access particular value, here if you want to access the 35, then you can use the key student1. If you want to access the 43, then you can use the student3 key, because student3 is the key value linked with the value 43. So here you can see we use student1 and student2 keys here for displaying the content. So you can see the output on the browser. So here you can see student mark is 35, that is first key, student1 is used here. So next student mark 17 is stored here. If you want to change, you can change. Now I am going to change the first key student1 into student3. Now After changing the value, when you refresh, you can see the output is changed. 43 is displayed here because we use the key name student3, which is reference to the value 43. So student 3 is the key value reference to value 43. So this is how we call the associative arrays. Next we go for the multi-dimensional arrays. So arrays is just like a matrix which we already discussed in the 10th standard, where every element are numbered with the index value. So in multi-dimensional array, many values are combined into a single variable name with many or more than one index value. So here you can see multi-dimensional array is the array containing one or more arrays. It means the array which contain array is called multi-dimensional array. So PHP understand multi-dimensional array that are 2, 3, 4, 5 or more levels deep. However, arrays more than 3 levels deep are hard to manage for most of the people. Here in the program you can see we use the array keyword for creating the multi-dimensional array variable student. So student is the multi-dimensional array because it contains many arrays. You can see 3 arrays are here. We use 3 times array. It means 3 arrays are combined into a single array, namely student. So this is the concept of multi-dimensional array. Now we will understand this concept. So if you want to create many arrays within a single array, then it will look like a table like structure. So here you can see, so each and every array have their own values. For example, Kavin with different numbers 45, 22. So next Ilani with the different values 47, 85. Kumar with different value. So these are the arrays. So each and every row is considered as arrays, but all these arrays is converted into single array, namely a student. So all this array is considered as a single array. Then they share the same name student. Now how we can access a specific variable from this group of array variables? For example, if you want to access the Ilani, then how we can access? This is the situation called multi-dimensional array, where we give the index number for each and every row as well as the each and every column. So this multi-dimensional array will convert it into table, and each and every table is converted into index number. Now we are going to give the index value for the rows. So always index value begins with 0. So first row is 0, second row is 1, third row is 2. In the same way, first column index value is 0, second column index value is 1, third index value is 2. So now we can access the particular value from this array index multi-dimensional array by using this two index number, that is row as well as the column index number. So this is the concept we use here. Here you can see 0 of 0 refers to Indian, 0 of 1 refers to 100, 0 of 2 refers to 96, 1 of 0 refers to Kavin, so 1 of 1 refers to 60, 1 of 2 refers to 59. Now we are going to understand the same concept. So here you can see student 1 of 0 is refers to the value Ilani, because value Ilani row number is 1, column number is 0. So now output is Ilani. So if you change the index number, for example 2, 2, then first index number refers to row, second index number refers to column. So 2 of 2, where the value matches, here you can see this is the row 2, this is the row 2, this is the row 2, here the column is 2, so 41 will be output. So this is the value of the array variable student 2 of 2. This is how we use the multi-dimensional array. So now we can see the all the variables of multi-dimensional array will display on the screen. So here you can see in 0 of 0, 0 of 1, 0 of 2, 1 of 0, 1 of 1, 1 of 2, 2 of 0, 2 of 1, 2 of 2. So in the program you can see the same index number are used. So try this concept and try to understand this multi-dimensional array. So this will very helpful for programming in the upper level programming concept. Now we are going to discuss the next topic of the array, uh, that is multi-dimensional array. So this is the end of the lesson. I hope you understand the concept of function and arrays. Very simple and powerful concept of programming language. So this is the end of the lesson. Prepare the question and answers of the book back exercises and submit the answers to my WhatsApp number. I hope you understand the concept of using the multi-dimensional, single dimensional, associative indexed array and function UDF concept. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.